Hey guys, Sin here, and welcome back to Classes, Battlefield 4 versus Warface. Last week we compared the medic classes between Battlefield 4 and Warface, so if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave an annotation here in the video and a link in the description. This week we'll compare the support kits between the two games. Like the medic, the support kit in Battlefield 4 offers significantly more in the gadgets section than the support class in Warface. However, the class role remains the same between the two games. The primary role for the support class in both games is to resupply ammunition for other soldiers. Both games also offer belt-fed light machine guns for the class as a primary weapon. Now this is where I believe the classes differ the most between the two games. In Warface, having access to the LMG as a support kit makes you more effective at all ranges than the medic kit being effective only at short range, and the engineer only being effective at mid-range. Because of this, the support class is actually the top pick in Warface, as opposed to Battlefield, where the support class is more of a specialist. But before I get ahead of myself, let's just jump in and look at the class mechanics and compare the two. Alright, so the support class in Battlefield 4 offers some really cool weaponry. The belt-fed LMGs, which are the characteristic support class weapon, and you have these assault rifle style LMGs like the RPK-12, 74M, and the U100 M5K, which is the default weapon that you start out with in Battlefield 4 as the support class. So these weapons make it really easy to just lay down constant fire, especially when paired with the ammo boxes, ammo packs. So these are actually, the way these work in Battlefield 4 are almost exact clones of the mechanics from the medic system. So the ammo pack works just like the medic pack. The ammo box works just like the medic box. So you just run over this or throw it at a soldier. It'll attempt to track the soldier. And these things will resupply your primary weapon ammunition and I believe secondary weapon ammunition, just like the medic packs, which will resupply your health, and it is about the same rate. It'll resupply over time. These, on the other hand, also work like the medic box in the sense that they have an area of effect that you just stand next to it and you'll resupply. And these little guys are actually the reason this class gets exploited so much in maps like Lockers or Metro, where you have heavy choke points. These are what allow you to just spam explosives and grenades. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this mechanic. I think maybe grenades are a good idea, but being able to resupply rockets with these and C4, I don't know if that was a really smart call for this class, especially when in Battlefield 4 they've introduced the commander mode, which gives you this crate over here. And this is a really smart way of balancing the power from the explosives in the game. If they made it so that the commander had to use his points to call down a supply crate to resupply things like the 40mm grenades for the assault class, the C4 explosives for the recon and the support classes, and the rockets for the engineer class, that would make the commander more valuable, A, and B, tone down the power of the support class ammo box. Not to mention, you could probably buff the lackluster area damage of the 40mm grenades and some of the engineer rocket launchers, assuming this was nerfed. I mean, as it stands, this thing is way too powerful. It is a passive. It has a passive area of effect, just like the assault class's medic box. So you just throw one of these down, and it'll just keep resupplying. You can just keep shooting and shooting, and it'll just keep resupplying you. There's not really a whole lot of micromanagement involved. The rearm time for these boxes is really fast. I mean, it's only a few seconds. You just throw one down every few seconds, so you have a new one. So the The amount of power that these provide to the class is pretty insane, and it provides not only power to this class, but to every class. And I think if you were going to balance this class out, you'd remove the ability to rearm explosives from this thing. Hand grenades, maybe. I think hand grenades should be a big part of this game, especially when you're talking about smoke grenades, hand flares, these sort of things. I think they should be able to be resupplied from this. But, I mean, this is just primary weapon ammunition. And the fact that it has an area of effect radius, so you don't even have to, like, throw it at people or micromanage it in any way, just like the assault class, makes it way too powerful. But besides that, I think the support class for Battlefield 4 is one of the more balanced classes besides the ammo boxes. The primary weapon is really unique and appropriate for the class. Most of the gadgets, with the exception of the UCAV, fit really well with the class design and don't feel too overpowered. Now let's switch over to Warface and take a look at the support class design in that game. Warface support class is very similar to the one in Battlefield 4, with the main exception being that the class optimization, as I mentioned in my previous video, is almost non-existent. And that's mostly because this game doesn't offer vehicle combat like Battlefield 4 does, but the class system still exists and the infantry combat is still very interesting. So this class, just like in Battlefield 4, his main role is to resupply other soldiers. You do that with this ammo box here. And it works much like the other classes. Once you have your ammo box in hand, you just use your reticle and aim over a teammate, and it'll show how much ammo they have left. Now the difference here is that you resupply them in chunks, and I'll show that in the video here. Instead of the medic system, which you have to hold down on the target and you basically bandage them up, this one you just toss the ammo box at them when it's appropriate to give them ammo, and it'll give you points according to how much ammunition you refilled. You can also deal damage with this box if you melee people with it, which is highly entertaining. But that's besides the point. The primary weapon for this class is suitable at pretty much all ranges. You're going to be a little bit weaker against snipers at range, and you're going to be a little bit weaker against medics up close because they have a shotgun. But this series of guns, LMGs, are pretty good at all ranges. They're going to give you a lot of power no matter where you are on the battlefield. And that's one of the reasons why this class is picked above the others, because it's not as specific in its role in the game, which I think is really appropriate. I think this class should be the primary soldier on the battlefield, with the others being support to this soldier. And I think it works really well with the overall game design. It's not a very complicated system. The resupply mechanic, you can't throw this box on the ground. You have to throw it on a soldier. It doesn't really offer any other gadgets with the support kit. It's pretty simplistic, but I think it's elegant in its simplicity. It's a really fun class to play. You will never run out of ammo. Your gun's going to give you an advantage in most situations. So overall, I think the support class in this game is pretty balanced. It doesn't offer too much and it doesn't offer too little. There are equipment and attachment upgrades that you can get for your class in this game, but it is quite the grind to get them if you just play the game normally and you don't pay for anything. But it is a free to play, and that's their model. So, I mean, you can't really complain about that too much. I do kind of wish that the support class in this game had a little bit more to offer than just the ammo box. But considering the game isn't as grand as Battlefield 4 with its large-scale maps and vehicle combat and plenty of different game modes, I think this class was done just right for the type of game this is. What they've done here is kind of blend Battlefield 4 class system with Call of Duty style maps and Counter-Strike style game modes. That's going to be it for today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is the Warface system too simplistic? Is Battlefield too complicated? I'd really enjoy your feedback. And stay tuned next week for the next installment in this series where I'm going to compare the engineer classes between the two games. See you guys next time.